In an article from US Today on June 11, 2013, correspondent Devin Carabellis wrote, "Students prefer real classrooms over virtual." It says, according to results of a new national research study, 78% of more than 1,000 students still believe it is easier to learn in a classroom. Hi, my name is Sarah Duchstein, and today we'll be talking to you about online classes versus traditional classes. Personally, for me, I took an online advanced math course in high school. I didn't take anything away from the class. I didn't learn anything from the class. I either looked up the answer online or I asked someone who was smarter at math to just do the work and give me the answer, because all I got credit was for the answer, not for the work shown to how I got the answer. This subject is very relevant to today because, as you can see in this visual aid from 2002, from 2010, it has increased for people who have done online classes. The number of students taking online classes has grown nearly one-third, one-third. Okay. Um, yep. Okay. Online classes are becoming more and more popular. There are benefits to them, but there are more benefits to actually having traditional classes where you actually are face to face with the teacher. Traditional classes are more beneficial to students, especially in the millennial generation. In my speech, I will be talking to you about the success that the face-to-face classes will give you, the motivation levels, as well as our interaction with students and teachers. Um, Brian Kearney, who goes to Rowan University, wrote on an article, Online versus Traditional. He states, traditional education is better for those who need face-to-face communication. When you don't have direct interactions with your instructor, you may tend not to do as well as with the work you have already done. And I completely agree with what he says, because having that face-to-face interaction, it's easier for you to understand when you're doing your work. You can ask, you can backtrack your steps and just be like, okay, well, why is it this way and why is it this way? It also will help you take negative responses if your teachers are saying no, or if they're yelling at you. This can help for in the future with interviews, to have that face-to-face interaction. Also, another thing is that not only will you have your interaction with your teachers, but as well as students. You can easily have, oh, the thing turned off. Brooke, you're,
If the camera's still on.
I know. Okay. With your students, you can ask for their numbers if you need help, if during the weekdays you are unable to get that help from that teacher. So having that, being with students and going in it together, and you guys can actually learn from each other as well. So that is something that is very important, that comes with a traditional class. As another interesting thing that can be offered with a traditional class is having the motivation. It is hard to get up for classes some days, yes, but I guarantee you it's probably harder to get out of bed just to go on an online class and find answers that you don't really care about, because you're not even learning the material itself, because you're either looking it up or you're just, again, using someone else's work to get the answer just to get the credit. So I understand that it is hard for motivation, for students to have that motivation to do work alone. I know it's finals week. It's just hard to, do things by yourself when you just don't care enough. You either be doing something else, watching Netflix. So a student from Nebraska, Arlene Bejarnero, in an article, Face to Face or Online, says, online education requires students to be self-disciplined. With online education, the instructor the online education requires students to be self-disciplined. With online education, the instructor delivers the content, but the students must have a greater initiative to access, learn, and understand the material. In addition, students have to actively seek help. This type of independent learning can be especially challenging. Students can lack motivation to learn independently. And again, like, I think that's absolutely true. I know, like, I'm trying to learn accounting because I have a final coming up and it is hard. I do not have the motivation to learn it because I really don't care. It's not my major. I see no point in using it. Well, there's a point in using it, but again, it's hard for me, like, us to have the motivation to do things. I don't even know what I was talking. Just to do things.
Just
Okay.
to get out of bed in the morning and brush my teeth. Can't get anything done anymore.
Can we put this in this?
Just have a bloopers section.
Just like the bloopers. Okay. All right.
Bring us home, Sarah.
Okay.
Take us home.
Okay. And then the next thing that doesn't come with online classes is the promise of success. Usually, when you are in face-to-face classes, like, it's easier for you to understand it when a teacher is going through step by step and pointing out this is what to do and this is what not to do. So in the long run, you'll learn something and you'll go into your job knowing that you've actually learned something from your education because you've had that face-to-face interaction, you've had the motivation, you've had help with other students and different ways of viewing different things. In an article written by a student from Nebraska, the same Arlene Bejarano, face-to-face versus online, consider the fact that online courses physically distance students from the college community. This distance oftentimes affects the students' experiences and success. Online students are physically separated, thus the resources and instructors available to students through faculty, peers, and other campus offices. So again, like, you do have that distance if you're doing an online class. You're not around the library that you'd be able to check out a book. I mean, yeah, you can go to a public one, but it is always easier to go to a library where a teacher knows the book is in the library, knows someone in the library can help you to find it. And this goes in hand with a study that was done by a community college research center by Shannon Smith Jaggers. States students perform worse in online classes than in traditional classes, concludes a study by the Community College Research Center at the Teachers College of Columbia. The study, which follows the enrollment history of 51,000 students in Washington State between 2004 and 2009, found an 8% gap in completion rates. So again, this concludes with the success is that it is harder when you don't have the motivation to complete a class, to finish it and be like, okay, well, I did well. Like, it's better for you to know that you actually did the work, you went through the struggle of talking to the teacher, getting your friends' help, of putting all this effort in, going to the library, spending hours at the library, learning something, than having to do it online, getting the answer, getting credit for the answer, and just calling it a day. So again, these are the three topics these are the three main points that traditional classes are better than online classes, because it will in the long run give you the success from having the motivation as well as having the resources and the interactions with students and faculty. Some people may say that having online classes offers better timing for, like, people with jobs and people with families, and yes, this is true, but at our stage in our life, we have the time to actually go to class. We have the time to go to the library. We have the time to do this. Yeah, I'd rather be watching Netflix, but I know in the long run I'm going to need this, and it's going to help me in my future and my job, and it also will help me choose my job, because I'll know, like, hey, like, I'm stronger in this area than I am in this area on a subject. So Iona students should take the advantage of having the face-to-face classes, because it does benefit us. Thank you. My name is Sarah Ducci. Thank you. My name is Sarah Ducci, and today I don't know how to conclude this.
And I
Okay.
approve this message.
Hold on. Okay. In conclusion, maybe I'll just do that. Okay. In conclusion, Iona students should take advantage of the In conclusion,
What college do we go to again?
Just can't do this. In conclusion, Iona students should stay with face-to-face classes because in the end it does benefit us in the long run. But online classes are just helpful to those people who actually can't afford it and do have families on the side and wanna. I hate this.
I want
Just
this
take us
class
home, Sarah!
You messing with my baby?
And one and then a better. Okay. In conclusion, I can't do this.
Alright, do it.
Okay. In conclusion, Iona students should take the advantage of having the traditional classes because it will ensure your success in the long run. You'll notice that your motivation will over time grow because you're going to achieve something in the end. Like you're trying to get that job, and learn the material for that job, as well as having the advantages of the interaction again with your peers and faculty. It'll in the long run help with success.
I can't.
I don't know what I'm doing. It's
Just
so
fucking
bullshit.
Close it. Pinch
Just
it
say
off.
thank you. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Sarah Ducci.
Hold on. My name is.
Okay.
My name is.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Ducci. It's gonna go out so retarded. I'm
Literally. Do your conclusion. Say it in conclusion. Say everything. And once you've run out of things to say, thank you. I'm Sarah Ducci. Go.
Okay. In conclusion, Iona students should take the advantage of having the face-to-face class because, again, it'll ensure your success in the long run because your motivation will be up in the end. I hate saying in the end over and over. Oh my god. Okay. In conclusion, Iona students should stick with with traditional classes because it has more benefits than negatives to them, even though it does sound nice to get a good grade by flying by, but at the same time, personally, it feels better to earn the grade than just to have someone else do and just get the credit for the answer. Thank you. My name is Sarah Ducci. Yes, that's it. All right.